that
Oh,
something is there that wasn't there before and one person is watching. So if you're there, hello, hello, say hello,
yes.
and we might see you in the chat. Hopefully it's
Oh,
not just me
goodness.
watching me.
Who
'Cause then
knows
we ain't
what's
gonna get no
happening?
message.
We cannot see us here, but
Oh, here we are.
it says that we're streaming. So I'm going to go with we are streaming. I cannot see us, but hopefully, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yes, our professional unprofessionalism.
that's all we can do at this point because every time it's something different. So I'm going to go with it says we're streaming. I don't know where we're streaming to because I can't see us, but hopefully to the right places.
Here
Oh,
we
you
are.
can see us?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then let's just do the thing. Let's just do the thing. Oh, Deborah, we were just having a conversation about, rhythms, energy. And as someone
Mhm.
who is really having to change what that looks like for me, it's been a bit of a learning curve. And Deborah, why don't you get us started with sort of like recap what we were talking about because that's not my forte at the moment is like thinking.
Yeah, yeah, alright, good, so you can respond. So, you get to
Yes.
follow me.
Yes.
Well, it was interesting because when we first hopped on, we were, talking about our weeks. We hadn't seen each other in a while because you were having some internet issues last week, and I wanna thank everybody too for being so understanding. I received a lot of nice email replies, one which made me howl out loud when I read it. So, I just love the people that follow us, that show up, that participate in the conversations that,
Mhm.
yeah, that make me laugh. I just love it. It lightens the tension that may be there. Although I think we're pretty good at learning how to go with the flow, and that's kind of what we were talking about as well with different things that are happening in life. So and there was a lot of different things that happened in the last 2 weeks for me. Around death of a mentor, of a family member, and also the energies that are out there right now. So it may be feeling a little chaotic out there, and inside um, it's we're being asked to ground in a little bit more and more in a different way. We have these energy waves that are hitting the planet. The earth energies are rising up. There's a lot of people doing their work on the energetics. There's a lot of unseen beings doing work on the energetics. And then we also have the celestial things happening. We have the new moon, we have Three Eye Atlas coming close to the planet, which a lot of people are taking in as part of our astrology because in our solar system, it has an energy to it too. So it has an effect on all kinds of things. And then we just entered the solstice too. So we're in that right today. We're in that sweet spot where it's the longest night, and then the sun seems to pause for the next couple of days, and then it'll start tracking into
Mhm.
more light. So we're in a really interesting time. So we were kind of talking about how that felt. And I just saw someone posted something. Nothing was happening, so I just refreshed, and there you were. Oh,
Oh,
great.
there. Oh, good, good. I
I
refreshed
was like,
like
oh
the 5th
no.
time and there we were. So it's like, okay, we're here, we're here. Yes, I'm glad you
Yeah,
found us.
awesome. Yeah. And
Um,
so maybe some of the internet issues were due to all that stuff going on. But
we have been having so many problems with internet, and I don't know if it's the things that are going on planetarily, all of those things, the energies that are out there, but there have been so many issues. And of course, we phone our provider and it's not them. It's never them. So, you know, it's it's like I don't know. But
yeah.
just back to the energies and what's been happening. It's so true that I was saying to Deb just before we got on, I feel like a little bit like a ping pong ball because things have been sort of all over the place, and in this time of well, of darkness, hibernation. We're now officially into the winter in the Northern Hemisphere. We just had the new moon, 2 days, a coup Friday, and then yesterday was the today. This anyways, in the last few hours, it's been solstice.
Yeah.
Um, and all of those energies moving us into the darkness, where which is all about rest and, rejuvenating and giving ourselves time to heal and rebuild and reflect and all of those things. But our the way our world works, this is the busiest time of year. Doesn't matter who you are, there's stuff going on everywhere. And it's just so against what internally we need.
Mhm.
And just that's what I'm feeling, I think, is that ping pong effect of, even though I'm not taking part in a lot of it because I physically can't right now, but just the energy of what's happening, right, is so opposing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, this solstice to me feels, very different than years past for some reason, and then, maybe it's the amount of people that are understanding the solstice, what it's for, and, the consciousness around it is different, and that's what I'm
Mhm,
feeling. I can't really put my finger on it or describe it, but it, to me feels there's a holier feeling to it,
mhm,
a more nourishing feeling to it. And I feel like, as we I feel like we're growing up a little bit, as we grow up a little bit and start to realize, like, the earth is living, the cosmos is living. We're living not just in isolation where it's me against everything, which is the old model. We're starting to feel and understand on levels maybe that we can't describe or understand, that we are interconnected, starting to become a lived experience where our we and
mhm,
um, things have an impact. They have a feel to them. And so, yeah, I think it would be cool, whoever's listening, if you want to put into the chat, like, what your experience is. What are
mhm,
you experiencing right now as we are in this, like, um, I want to say this bubble, kind of feels like being in a bubble in a sense, but at the same time, I'm feeling it's like a nurturing held space. And, are you going with it? Or are you still trying to get the stuff done? I got the
maybe
deadline.
fighting it.
Go.
Yeah,
Christmas is coming.
whether we wanted to or not, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, as I was last minute shopping today online because I can't get out shopping anymore, so I was last minute shopping online and going, "What am I doing? What am I
Mm.
doing?" Um, yeah, part of it is I just haven't even thought of it, so that's a thing, right? So it's like, "Oh, I probably should do something about this."
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and just, thinking about all the other things that I've been, mm, I don't wanna say, like, struggling with, dealing with, but there's a lot of other things going on with me, uh, and mobility is an issue, things like that. Energy, also a great issue. But I do really feel into this idea, or not idea, but this concept of it really is not testing. Oh my good gosh, I can't speak today. But it's really allowing me to explore what I haven't been able to before, because every
Mm.
time something new, a new transition, a new way of being for me comes in, I still am fighting. I'm constantly been fighting. And this has really said, well, we're not going to let you fight anymore because, it just takes me out if I fight. So I can't. So I'm literally forced to go with the flow right now. I cannot do much more than that. So it has
I
been
love the paradoxical way you put that. I'm forced to flow.
I am forced to go with the flow, so that I can, just show up on a daily basis in some way. And some days it's literally sitting on the couch, and other days it's, a bit more.
Yeah. Well, it's a new way of being. I see extreme Roswelling,
Yes.
Roswelling. Um, says it's hard to stay focused on anything. I'm all over the place. I think that might be what you're describing as well. And I feel like that too, but I'm not I've been working on that working on allowing that the last couple of years. So it's like
Mhm.
I think I feel like it's like finally getting in rhythm with the way my brain works and being okay with like ping ponging around like the studio. And I kind of discovered probably about a year ago, or maybe more. I was talking to my friend Claire, who we
Mhm.
did our interview with for Reimagine podcast last week. And, I remember telling her, like, I just allow myself to sit and write, and then I go sit at the altar, and then I paint, and then maybe I go out and walk around, and then I come back, and then because it's, creativity is never a linear experience.
Mhm.
And when you've been told that you have to sit and perform and produce, like you're in a factory, or you have no value because you need something to show for yourself at the end of the day.
Mhm.
That takes a while to rewire your system to. And you were also speaking into that a little bit too before we hopped on around how that rewiring of the system is taking a lot of awareness to be able to allow it. And I feel like we're all doing that because it's so funny to me. Like I think about it and is that like when you're in the push, 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 and pushing to exhaustion, and you're getting burned out, all you want is nothingness. And I think here I am, I've created that for myself basically. Like I'm fighting it.
'Cause
So
it's not it's uncomfortable because it's new, right? Yes,
exactly.
it's what we want, but then we don't know what to do with it because it's like, "This is so new. I don't know what to do with this." And
Yeah.
then our brain is still like, "No, we must produce, we must do the things." And
Mm,
and yeah, so I do, I struggle with it as well in the
mhm.
sitting and being, which I have to spend a lot of time doing lately,
Yep.
and I'm getting better. I am definitely getting better, and I find that I am overall feel better when I just allow myself to be okay with it, and when
Mhm,
I fight
mhm.
it, of course, then I struggle more. My pain levels are higher, my shaking is more, I can't get around as much, so I fully recognize all of those things, but then also, yep, this is not the norm, it's uncomfortable, and so then, I'm gonna try and fight it every so often.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
that's what we do
Well,
as
it's
humans.
yeah, and I feel like there's a need to mourn that too. And, I was talking to you a little bit about how one of my mentors died this week. And, I've been out of that community. I still do the work, but I've just been out of the community
Mhm,
for since 2019. I'm like, I can't do the math, 6 years. And so there's this feeling of like nostalgia of being back in with a group of people that were friends. They were colleagues. They were people I learned with, people I worked with,
mm.
had fun with, cried with, all that kind of
Mm,
stuff. And not that I haven't seen them over the years, but in a different way. And, I didn't realize how much emotion was there, because I felt, oh, I've moved on from it. And now it's all kind of being brought up again in a good way because it's not that I left that behind to do something else. It's always going to be a part of me. But it's the things we're also leaving things behind when we're moving into this new way of being,
mhm,
right? So that's just an example of we're choosing a different path. We're choosing a new way to walk, a new way to be in the world, a new way to create in the world and be with each other. One more of love, letting go of self judgment, letting go of beating ourselves up, all that kind of stuff, and really treating ourselves more from a place of love and gentleness. It isn't, there is, we have to grieve it. We have to grieve it because there's in our system, it's like even though it didn't feel good all the
mm,
time, it misses it. Our
mm,
body's used to being in that.
yeah. And it's often why we, find ourselves repeating patterns is because we're used to that, And so we go back to what's safe and comfortable, even if it's not safe or comfortable, but it's
Mhm.
what we know. So it feels safe and comfortable
Yeah.
in that chaos, right?
Yeah,
And so we
exactly.
repeat these patterns over and over again. And sometimes, I've always said that I'm one of those people that needs to be hit upside the head with a 2 by 4 before I start to pay attention. Well, this is the biggest one. This is a house. This is not a 2 by 4. You know, it's
A
like, I'm
house
paying
had to land
attention
on you,
now.
just like the Witch of the West. Was it
Yeah,
or the East? Was it I think it's the East.
yeah.
I see Water Girl says, "Work before pleasure is a horrid Puritan ethic that has shaped Americans more than any other practice."
Oh, it's
100
so true.
100%,
Produce, produce,
100%.
produce. You must
Yeah,
be productive or,
yeah.
and
Yeah, it
it's
was interesting in that vein too with, like, resistance and, things feeling like, I've been kind of laying dormant the last couple years and just kind of like, working when the work comes, not doing a lot to generate it, like really stepping away from the model that I was taught to be in. That really, it was more
Mhm,
exhausting than anything else. Didn't feel
mhm,
aligned, but whatever. So it was in a ceremony online with the Heart of the Healer, and my mentor Don Oscar was speaking. He was telling a story about his mentor Don Benito, who is part of one of the lineage uh, carriers, I guess. And I got like this idea for, okay, I started seeing a group. So I wrote it down. I was writing while he was talking and I wrote this idea down and I was like, wow, that sounds really cool. I'd love to do that. Right. It's like a
mhm,
way of creating community and a way of bringing creativity in. And I know a lot of people that are wanting to, write their stories down and create a body of work and different things like that. And I'm like really stepping away from like traditional coaching where like the pressure's on the coach to like get the person to do the thing. It's more, I'm
mhm.
working more when I work with people now, it's more of like, no, you have the wisdom, let's find it. It's like let it
Yeah,
come out of you.
yeah.
And so this is kind of all geared towards that. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. I got jazzed. I told Dave about it. And then I'm like, I'm gonna feel into that. Well, lo and behold, as I slept and woke up in the morning, I'm like, what was I thinking? That was such a stupid idea. Blah, 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 blah. So resistance had crept in. I'm like, ah, resistance, my old friend.
Mhm,
It's like, how many ideas am I going to have before, I take the next step? Like, what is it? It's leaning. What I realized in this last week too is like resistance is my teacher. The
mhm,
thing I'm resisting the most is probably the thing I need to be doing, but I was at a loss as how to not resist my resistance or fight against it or dominate it, in the old ways that I learned how to
mhm,
do. But how do I invite it in as a teacher? And so it was a really interesting, like little creative exercise I did this morning with just talking to my resistance and what did it reveal. And then, lo and behold, I got another download of like what else wanted to happen. And so then I ended up calling one of the sanctioned teachers who's kind of the head of all of this. And I just like threw this idea out. So I'm like, that was step one. Throw the idea out to the
mhm,
community and see what comes back. It's like I don't have to do it the old way, and I think it's exactly where my resistance came up. It was like saying, "No, don't you remember the last time you were doing stuff like this and we got all burnt out and we got not feeling good? So I'm just gonna stop you right there." Right? And so
mhm.
I think I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like light dawned on Marblehead here," you know? And it felt almost quite serendipitous too. So it's like I got out of the need to push and rush and have all the answers and have it all planned out and have the funnel created and move, 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 because that's what we were told. The minute you get that idea, go, 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 right?
Mhm.
No one ever
Yeah,
taught me to sit with my resistance and listen to what it wanted to tell me, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
So, and we all have that. If I can do that, right? We all have that within us, right? It's just a matter of slowing down and being with yourself. What is this telling me without letting your head say it? You have to let yourself get into the uncomfortableness of it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's where we mostly want to take off because it's hard to stay in what doesn't feel good, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And we do one of 2 things with resistance, right? Like, we recognize it and go, "Okay, I recognize this resistance, I must do the thing," or,
Mhm.
"I'm resisting it, obviously, it's not the right thing." And sometimes there's something else, right? You just
Yeah.
need to allow, like, is it the right way to do the thing? Is it the right time to do the thing? Is it part
Mhm.
of something else? And so just allowing and sitting with things and, we have been taught, like, you get an idea, get it out there because, somebody else is gonna have it and, everybody's getting downloads at the same time, and I recognize that, it happens. But
Mhm.
then is it still the best thing for us, right? Do we
Right.
have to be the person that brings it forward? And maybe if we wait and see what other people do with it also, we're gonna do it in a different way. Or
Mhm.
maybe we need to just sit with that to see, is this yeah, okay, this is the thing, but how is it gonna work better for me and the
Mhm.
people that I work with? Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, sometimes the idea is just the vehicle that brings you to the place you're supposed to be.
Mhm,
Sometimes it'll, yeah, as you said, it's not always to act on. And, sometimes it is just to
mhm,
sit with. What was different about this is where I received it. I was in ceremony, my teacher was talking, and it
mhm,
came in as a flash. And I was like, "Oh, it felt different. It felt different in my body." It came from, it felt like it came from me and the field,
mhm,
where there was like a melding almost. So it wasn't me scheming to create something to generate that da da da, the more
mhm.
mechanical. It was definitely a lot more organic, which is why chose to sit with this resistance,
Yeah.
because of the way it came in. And I'm like, wow, it's kind of cool. I was able to have that experience. It's something I've been asking for, but without knowing I was asking for it, because it's like, not that I forgot what my mission is, but I'm like, isn't it time? It feels like it's time to, you know, get out there a little bit more. But what do I want to do? How do I want to do it? It has to feel fun. Because if it
Mhm,
doesn't feel fun, I'm not going to want to do it. I'm going to go right into resistance, right?
mhm.
And so, and it's almost like having fun at what you do is like a guilty pleasure.
Yes. Yes. That's so true. Because play is for later, right? You need to do the work. It's not supposed to be fun. You're supposed to just, like, get in there, do the work, do the hard stuff, and then you can have fun. But, yeah,
Mhm.
what if the work can be the fun?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And
Just
it is getting all of those voices that are in your head or in your field that are not yours. And you have to
mhm,
just identify, well, whose voice is that? Did that come
mhm.
from me or is that like something outside of me? And then you'll like go, oh, well, like, see, oh, that was my father, that was my teacher, that was, you know,
Yeah,
yeah. And then you're like, oh,
all
well,
those
what does
people.
my voice say? I don't even know because I've been so busy listening to all the other voices, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And our voice is often so much quieter, but it
Well,
is
they've been
usually the first
silenced.
one. Or all the other voices come in and try to drown it out, right? Our voice is the one underneath that doesn't need to scream. It's the one that
Mhm.
comes in first and just sits there, but it can be overridden so easily
Yeah.
if we let it, right? And so that's where, discerning, what is ours and what is not is really
Mhm.
important. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
important.
there is someone I'm working with right now, they're very much in their head. And, so when go into like, oh, let's go into the imagination a little bit, let's vision, da da da. It's always up here. And so we've been working and working more like get down into the heart, and go more from feel. Go more from
Mm,
feel. So maybe it's not going to be voice for you. Maybe it's not going to be something you see behind your eyes. Maybe there's something you're feeling. And it's really interesting because that's where the nervous system stuff kind of comes in too, right? Because it gives you a false read. So we have all of these things, right? The false read, like the false narrative, like your system's wired to that. So you start doing something a little different, it's going to start talking. And then when it starts talking, it's going to go boop, you're going to go right up into your head. You're going to start cycling up in your thinking again. So it's like
Mhm,
it's a diligent practice to come down and go, okay, it's okay to be down here. It's okay to be down here. And so that's where all the somatic exercises and the deeper breathing and the longer, more
mhm.
enhanced breath resetting the system. It's like you have to learn to be friends with your system,
It's
before we even start asking, what should I be doing in the world?
oh, it's so true. I've spent most of my life totally oblivious to what was going on with my nervous system, right? I lived in that, um, high anxiety, high cortisol space my whole life, not even realizing. And then, I've done all this work and I thought, "Oh, yeah, I'm, like, way over here on the other side now." It's like, you know but no, I've just moved away from the high high to the, a little bit lower high. So, I thought, I was in this really calm space, but now everything affects my nervous system to the nth degree, and
Mhm,
so I really know when things set me off. Sleep is vitally important to me now. I still don't get enough, but I really notice it, like, 1 hour difference is huge for me, and
mhm,
so the more sleep I can get, but also I have to come back constantly to the breathing practices, the tapping practices, you know,
mhm,
um, bringing my own body back into space so it knows where it is. So I do a lot of weighted practices. So, like, weights on my shoulders or things on my hands, things that I touch or smells, even just to bring myself back into the space because I didn't realize I spent most of my life somewhere else completely.
mhm.
And it's huge to learn that. But if
Yeah.
I don't do it, I cannot function. Like, and that's not just like, "Oh, it's hard." No, I can't. Like, I
Mhm,
am shaking so hard, I can't walk, I can't lift anything. So I'm constantly having to come back to what does my nervous system need right now?
mhm,
And sometimes I have a little, like, day or 2 where it's like, "Oh, okay, I'm constantly breathing, I'm doing the things, making sure," and then I wake up today and everything's off again. So it's
mhm,
back to the practices, you know? So,
mhm.
but it's really interesting for me to go from one extreme to another,
Yeah.
but understand it as well, right? The what it is that's happening and why it's happening and what I am responsible for or what I am capable of, I guess, with that. No one else can heal it but me, right?
Mhm.
No one can heal it but me. And so it's been an interesting journey and
Yeah,
it's been
yeah.
huge. Like all of this has happened in the last few months, right? Well, that's not true. It's happened over the last 60 years. Um,
Yeah, it's like, let me track it back. Okay, well, yeah, it was building.
it's been building, but from one extreme to another has happened in the last few months. So yeah, it's
Mhm.
been really interesting to I mean, there's days when I wouldn't call it interesting, I have other words for it, but for the most part, it's been really interesting to pay attention to. Yeah. I consider it a gift, actually. Not every day, but many days I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be able to learn from it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's an important kind of distinction in growing relationship with your body is looking for the good in it. And I think,
Mhm.
whether you're having issues in your body or just stuff isn't going the way you want it to go right now in life, it's we're in relationship with everything. And it's if we're always looking, scanning their highs and looking for something bad to happen, well, we're going to find that, right? And,
Mhm.
you know, um, if we're always, we're waiting for that shoe to drop, or just we can't get ourselves shifted around gratitude, gratitude for everything, and finding the, not just, putting on the Pollyanna sort of glasses, but it's also that both things exist.
Mhm. Yeah,
That
yeah.
even when you're in the shit, there's always something that is, that's present, that's a light in the day, or a bright spot in the day, or whatever. And it's just
Mhm,
being able to look for it at the end of the day. I've done years and years of different, like, gratitude and all that kind of stuff over the years. And and I just went through a rough patch that we came out of. It was a financial patch that we were able to, finally find a solution to. That now it's like, it's like this burden is relieved. But and now that it's relieved, I feel it in my body. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like literally lifted, and I didn't realize how much I was holding until
mhm,
the situation shifted. But I wouldn't say I was feeling like I'm trying to keep my head above water. Some days it felt like that, but most days it was me coming into, like, I gotta find one thing, one thing that I can sit in gratitude with, and if it's
mhm.
like, okay, I'm outside, the sun feels good, I'm feeling the earth, this is it, this is my moment. It doesn't have to be big, and it's enough just to get you through and to shift, and and to help, like, it's going to shift. Whatever you're in right now, it's going to shift. It has to. It always does. Like, do you like where you are in your life right now? If you're going through a tough time, just look back on the trajectory of your life. I'm sure it's been like this, you
Mhm.
know? And
Yeah.
that's also too some of the stuff that kept me, like, actually relaxed in it, like, not trying. I think that was different about this, is not striving to do things to get out of the situation, but just let myself fully go into the situation. I feel like that's kind of
Mhm,
where you're at right now, is you're
mhm.
letting yourself go fully into the situation, because that also helps to unravel it. And we're
Yeah,
not taught to do that. We're taught to, like, fight, 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 get out of it, do what you can.
run away, yes. Ignore it, whatever, and I was taught that well, you know? It's like, just yes. Push it away, push it away, push it away.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, or tell the story. You must be doing something wrong if you're having these kinds of problems. So, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it's not because you're a bad person. It's just, it's life. That's what it's called. Life.
yeah.
Life is happening. The
Yes. Yeah, life
culmination of
is
choices
definitely
that
happening. Life is a thing right now.
yeah,
Oh,
and people have judgments about it, and your job is not to listen to their judgments. Your job is to, like, keep going, because you got to trust that thing, that compass inside of you, that it's
mhm,
not gonna look like what everybody else says it's supposed to look like. It looks like what it's supposed to look like for you, you know?
yeah. I have to say through all of this, it's been really interesting, the medical system. No, not the mainstream medical system, but, like, I'm
Mhm.
part of a clinic program, and they are very, um, not the norm for the work, which fit me so well because it fits all the practices, the somatic practices that I already know, and it was like, "Oh, okay, this is why I've been learning all of these things over the years. This is what they're for," you know, as they're like, "Oh, we should try this. Oh, I know how to do that. I can do that. Oh, we should
Mhm.
try." It's just been really interesting to explore that with the medical system, which I would never expect,
Yeah.
um, that I could bring in all the practices that I already know into, but they're now recognizing that this is what our nervous system needs, right?
Mhm.
Is these
So that's
practices.
progress to me, right?
Huge progress. I
Yeah.
was reading one medical journal that was talking about being out in nature and how pine and cedar specifically was such an important thing for calming the nervous system.
Yeah.
This was a medical journal. And I was like,
Mhm.
huh, okay. Yeah, I know that, but wow, you finally have figured this out.
Yeah. Yeah, go with
So,
your prescription, go sit with a tree.
yeah,
Make sure it's a cedar.
yeah. want
You
something
need
in that
specifically
pine cedar
cedar
family.
energy.
Yeah, it's so true. But
Yeah.
so it's been fascinating too that way because I have to say I do have a lot of bias against their medical system, and
Mhm.
they haven't treated me well over the years. But to see the shifts that are happening has been really, really interesting.
Mm.
So I do really appreciate that, and
Yeah. That
I
well, that's
feel
good
like there's
to
hope
hear.
for us as a people.
Yeah, yeah. That's good to hear that you're having that kind of experience. I know you've struggled in the past with different
Yes.
situations. Yeah.
Yeah. But just it's finding the right people, and then also coming into it with a lot of knowledge, I think helps as well, like doing your own
Mhm.
research. Yeah, to find the right places. Um, yeah. So in this season of rest, that we are in, as I'm feeling myself fade very quickly,
Yeah.
I know we
While
normally
we're
hang
meant to
around for an
bustle.
hour. On that note, we typically hang around for an hour, but I can feel myself fading very
Okay.
fast. Other thoughts, Deb, that you might have before we do wrap up?
Yeah, well, we shouldn't get into anything too heavy. And, I feel like too, it's like what we're talking about right now is like this is our moment to honor your system. If your system is needing a rest and, this is feeling like, okay, my system's had enough, then we should model that and listen to it, you know?
Yeah.
So
Now, that being said, I can disappear and leave you here to talk amongst yourselves.
I don't know if I'm gonna pontificate very well, but, yeah, I think let's like, before we close, let's close early. Let's before we close, this is gonna be our last broadcast. It's the last month of the year. We're gonna come back
Mhm.
in January, hopefully rested and fresh. We'll see
Oh,
what
yes.
happens. Um, what is your holiday gonna look like?
I am, not doing much, I have to say. The kids are coming, so my daughter and the grandkids are coming for, like, literally 24 hours. We have moved it back from Christmas Day, so it was gonna be Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and we've moved it to next week because it's just better for everybody. Like,
Oh,
it's
good.
just everybody was feeling overwhelmed. So, doesn't matter the day, we're still gonna get together and, just a real simple dinner we're gonna cook together. And then other than that, I am spending a lot of time just looking after myself, resting.
Awesome. See, and
Yeah.
you're already so like what I'm hearing is you're already modeling that. So you're doing the holiday on your
Mhm.
time, timeline, which is awesome to do.
Yeah.
And it's in community with what everyone else needs. And yeah, so
Yeah.
you're modeling it. Yay. Yeah, we're I'm traveling, Dave's staying here. I'm going to be leaving Christmas night, taking the red eye back east to hang out with my kids for a week. And yeah, Dave and I are just going to have a nice, quiet little uh, dinner here.
Mhm.
And yeah, then I'm taking off. So yeah, actually the next couple of days are kind of cool because I got an invitation from one of my friends who has these really enormous earthkeeper crystals that her husband's been working in the crystal business for I don't know like 40 years or something, and through
Mhm.
this very long and serendipitous story ended up with these tremendously huge and powerful crystals that came out of like the deep wells of the earth,
Oh,
like
yeah.
in Africa, and the energy of them is just freaking amazing. So she gathered some friends together. So Christmas Eve, we're gonna sit with the Earth Keeper crystals and do some grid work and do some
Oh,
silent
wow.
meditation. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yeah. It really is. Yeah, I love the idea of that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wanna wish everyone a happy New Year and, however you celebrate the holidays or don't,
mhm.
that it just do what you need to do for yourself. It's so important. Um, I my daughter brought it up actually when we were talking about changing our plans, and she's like, "I've never forgotten the Christmas before grandma died, which was my mother, when we canceled Christmas, and then the next year she died at Christmas. So I'm always afraid to cancel it. I said, "Well, we're not canceling it, right? We're not canceling it. It's we're postponing it slightly, but we're still getting together. We're still doing something that fits all of our energy." And so, you know, don't let that guilt either of, what could be, should be. Look after yourselves. It's such an important time of year to look after yourself.
Yeah.
Um, Water Girl, I've decided the next year to streamline by the 20th. If it's not done, I'm not doing it, making the 21st agenda for me. Perfect. Yeah,
Awesome. Atta
love that.
girl.
Yeah,
Change you to Atta girl instead of water girl.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
Awesome.
do what you need to do that to look after you through the holiday season. It's a busy, crazy time, and it's our
Mhm.
rest time. It's when we
Yeah. We
it's
in
when
this
the
Northern
energy of nature is
Hemisphere. Yeah.
we need to rest. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Blessings to
thank
you
you
both.
so
Happy
much.
holidays.
Blessings back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy holidays to all. And thank you so much for joining us today. And we're looking forward to seeing you again on Connection with Spirit in the new year.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. And I'll see if I can push some buttons and see if we can end this.